That's right. Look who's in trouble now. It's the big bad wolf. Little does he know.
What is with that?
I think your dice are rigged.
I think they are, I know.
We should split the dice.
There you go.
Although those rolled a pair too.
Spread out that that good luck. I am not going to challenge.
Kevin.
All right.
I mean, Tinkerbell, are you going to challenge? All right.
Let's go. I'm gonna
Good.
see where
Okay. So it is up to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to. Let's see. See what I've got here in my hand. I've got that one and that one, and oh, that's a good one. Okay, that's the one I'm going to do. Yeah. There are some cards that are duplicates in the deck. That's too good to not have. So what happens is, you know, the kids who live next door to my house, they broke into the house, and, you know, I love having kids around, especially if they work in my factories. So they break into the house, and of course they go straight for that gift bag that you happen to have put there, and they find this funny stuff in it, and they really don't know what they're getting into, and that's why it killed them. Anybody want a challenge?
I started to feel a little guilty.
Ah, guilt trip. Yes.
I started to feel a little guilty. So I decided to treat myself to a trip to snap me out of it. So I go online to the fairy tale internet and wizard myself up to a pair of tickets to Monte Carlo. I'm going to have to go pick up Snow White first, though.
Ooh.
5 and...
Oh, you got it. So anybody else
Or no,
want
I
to...
get mine on that, right?
You get yours.
Who's going to Monte Carlo?
The big bad wolf, but he's going to go pick up Snow White first.
Got to bring my girl, whether she wants to or not.
All right, suspense. Little does he know that the kids who got into his cocaine and died also got into his car and were in the process of stealing it when they OD'd. So he now has 2 dead teenagers in his car, unbeknownst to him.
Yours.
All right, finally.
And, do you want a challenge?
Story recap.
Yeah, please.
So the big bad wolf, with his plot to sell the theater and have it fall down and reap all the rewards, is feeling pretty confident in himself, even though he did kill some kids, even though he's not aware that he killed the kids yet.
He did run over a couple of kids on the way.
That's right.
Yes, he did.
So he's guilty about some things, but not all the things he should be guilty about. And he's now driving this car full of dead teenagers, covered in cocaine, to pick up Snow White.
Why are they covered in cocaine?
They stole the cocaine from
They
the big
planted.
bad wolf.
No, they
They
planted
did it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Tinkerbell planted evidence back at his
We just want to
place
recap.
in a basket of
Yes.
goodies, and it had a bunch of cocaine. The kids snuck in. Is that how they got it?
Yeah.
And
Why,
snorted
why
all
would I
and
lock
went
my
crazy.
doors? This is Las Vegas. Everybody's friendly here. So,
Okay, it's a dice off.
All right.
roll.
Nope. Worth a shot.
Okay.
I do like
Everybody
that beardy man.
draw back to 5. Oh, okay.
And I think it's to me, right?
It's to you.
Let's confront the bad guy and talk. Now, the big bad wolf was driving over to the restaurant to pick up to pick up Snow White, and yeah. So he shows up at the restaurant. He knew that Snow White was going to be there. He walks in the door, and he says, "You and me are taking a trip, Snow White. It's a guilt trip, but we'll have a good time in Monte Carlo anyway. Come on now, get in the car and just ignore the dead kids and cocaine. Actually, don't ignore the cocaine."
Yes, let's get out of here.
Oh, man.
6.
8.
There you go. So you get to say yes, and this is still up for grabs.
And that's worth
It's an
whopping
8-pointer, yep.
Mm-hmm. Gonna challenge?
Yes. She says, "I'd love to go, but first I'm going to go freshen up, so I'll be right back."
Oh, there's this other box.
Oh. Okay.
Do we have another challenge?
I'm passing on challenging, and I think that's got it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So people draw back who need to.
And it's to you.
To you.
You can pick the last scene and end the game.
Yeah, let's get medieval on this wolf in a car with dead teens and cocaine. And his girlfriend in absentia, what is she up to?
I know they have like starting
I
on
don't know.
Oh, Snow White.
Well,
Yes.
instead of a million.
So how are you getting medieval on my
Yeah, you have to actually
posterior?
You have to, okay.
You tell the
I'm gonna take
story.
So she returns with that big knife from the other card while he is standing, hands on hips, looking out at the sunset and his car with dead kids, saying, "I've gotten away with it." And she says, "Have you?" and plunges the knife in the back into his back.
Okay.
Just then,
What are you playing?
run away.
Run away. Okay.
He tries to run away, but he slips in a big puddle of noodles that somehow got left on the floor because it's a very sloppily run Chinese restaurant.
Chinese. It's all back to the Chinese.
And he falls.
And he falls.
The only thing that matters to me is, do I fall with a big knife in me? So, challenge.
No, I don't think so.
It's worth 12 victory points.
That's true. All right, so now that he's on their level, all 7 dwarves pile on him, screaming, "I'm going to kill you!"
Yes. All right, Chris.
So-
you can't let me get the 12-point card.
I'm going to bow out, just because I'm, don't want to accidentally win the game. If you make the game, you should never win it.
I don't think you.
So, and the worst I'd do is give you another victory point. So, it sounds to me like at the end of the game, I'm beaten to death by dwarves.
In noodles and dwarves.
Noodles and dwarves, and a
Cocaine
knife
residue.
a knife wielding Snow White is right on my tail. Well, I would say when the police came and investigated all this and found the blood on the bumpers and dead teenagers inside and the cocaine, that they're probably going to say that it was a good thing that I died. And I think that settles it.
Accidentally slipped and beat himself to death. Suicide.
Yes, it was clearly an accident. So everybody count up your victory points.
I don't know if I can count that high.
26.
4, 7, 9, 10, 12.
$23, 26, 38.
And then 12, yeah.
So you got 38. How much?
9.
I beat you.
26.
And I got a 12.
So
All
what
right.
was that last 12 points they got for you?
I know.
Well, actually, if I take... Well, you're right. Would you have won?
We would have tied.
Would have tied.
Oh.
Ah.
Well, and you also would have gotten the card that you played as
Wouldn't
well.
have if he challenged.
Oh, okay.
If Chris
That
had
1
challenged and
point
won.
value would have matched
Oh,
your total
right.
points. That's.
See?
I'd have been up there. I'd have been up there. All right. Well, and that's the game, and you can see it plays really fast. And we had a good time. And
Less than an hour. That was
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a real long game.
Really, it's whenever.
It's not
people,
real long.
Yeah, anytime people start
Maybe half an hour.
pulling out scenes, it's fun. I think that's the right length for this game.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs to be a fairly short game.
When it's good too, because you get to decide, like, okay, let's move it along a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as things go on too long and you're making stuff up, it can get a little silly. It gets a little tiring. But this case, it ends mercifully fast, and
Yeah, it's gonna be short and sweet.
the bad guy always goes down.
That's pretty satisfying.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
So,
thank
so
you.
do you always give it an epilogue as the villain?
Oh, I don't, but as a player, I always generally like to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a wrap up because otherwise you just sort of end with the big bad wolf covered in dwarves and noodles. And just one more.
No, that's a pretty good fade out as far as I'm concerned.
Freeze frame of them like 3 years later.
3 years later,
The
when
dwarves are
the
still covered in noodles.
when the theater collapses.
So you want to see if you can get some people to do this?
Hey, yeah, let's try something else.
Grab some.
No, wait, thank you all for playing.
This is